Fans can't believe what really happened to Bea Arthur. Because while the world remembers her as the sharp-tongued, witty, and commanding presence who made television history in Maude and the Golden Girls, the truth behind her life story is far more complicated, layered with struggles, sacrifices, and painful chapters that few ever knew while she was alive. Bea Arthur wasn't just an actress. She was a trailblazer, one of the first women on American television to embody characters who were unapologetically strong, independent, and politically outspoken, often pushing boundaries in ways that audiences weren't prepared for but would eventually come to love. Yet behind the laughs, behind the sarcasm that became her trademark, Bea carried personal battles that weighed heavily on her throughout her life. Born Bernice Frankel in 1922, she served in the U.S. Marine Corps during World War II, something that shocked fans when it became widely known decades later. Because very few imagined that the woman who became a sitcom legend once wore a uniform and stood among the earliest female Marines. But Bea's toughness on screen often mirrored the walls she built around her personal life. She struggled deeply with insecurities about her appearance, admitting that Hollywood never saw her as conventionally beautiful and that fueled feelings of isolation even during her career highs. Her marriages, including her union with director Gene Saks, were marked by love but also painful difficulties and eventually ended in divorce, leaving Bea to navigate life largely on her own. Despite her success, she battled bouts of depression and loneliness, and those closest to her described her as guarded, sometimes difficult to approach, a woman who gave everything to her craft but often kept her heart locked away. Later in life, Bea faced the painful reality of aging in Hollywood, an industry that often discards its legends once they're no longer seen as marketable, and she quietly stepped away from the spotlight after the Golden Girls ended, despite fans begging her to return to television. Even in her final years, Bea Arthur was reluctant to speak openly about the vulnerabilities that shaped her life. Though her philanthropic work, especially her commitment to LGBTQ+ youth and the homeless, spoke volumes about her compassion and desire to use her influence for good. When she passed away in 2009 after a battle with cancer, the world mourned not just the loss of a comedy legend, but of a woman whose life had been far richer, more painful, and more heroic than the characters she played on screen. Fans couldn't believe the layers of Bea Arthur's real story, the Marine who became a star, the insecure woman who brought strength to millions, the private soul who carried heartbreak while making the world laugh. Her life was filled with triumphs, but also shadows that many never saw, and in the end, her legacy is not just about the laugh she gave, but about the courage she showed in a world that never made it easy for women like her to succeed.